Good morning. This is June, I think it's June 26th actually. I just woke up. I moved my skateboard in here, as you can see. I guess it's a longboard. I just wanted to show you a little bit of like how my space has changed. I did tint the windows. They're super dark so nobody can see in, which is really cool. I still do put my little curtains up. It makes me feel more secure. It makes it feel a little more homey. It keeps light out because I can see out the windows, but you can't see in. That's how tinted windows work. I just wanted to show you my little bed area. So here's my pillow. I've actually been sleeping backwards lately, so I've been putting my feet up here and I've been like putting my head down there. It's got like a little skylight. Yeah, that's my swimsuit. It's actually all dry now. I am at the beach. Skateboard. I just yesterday got my art bag. So that's like all my paint stuff. I'm gonna work on a new painting. That's my canvas. This is my awesome jacket, which I've just been kind of storing on the back of my seat, and my suitcase is down there still. It's actually kind of nice because then it sort of like hides it a little bit. Yeah, I have some garbage bags right there, my yoga mat, gym clothes, sneakers, more art stuff. Yeah, so that's it.
Like I said, I did just wake up, probably looking kind of rough. I did get a really nice shower yesterday. My main focus lately, just to give you guys a little bit of an update, I've been working through a lot of ridding myself of things that no longer serve me. And what that basically means is any limiting beliefs, any fears or insecurities. I tried to work through my issues. I do it as much on my own as I can for no other reason than to be the best investigator of myself. And that's kind of what I encourage for a lot of people. And that's not to say that you shouldn't go seek professional help. Please absolutely go seek professional help. Nobody should have to just be a pioneer and get to the root of everything that's wrong with them by themselves, especially when we do have a multitude of resources and people that can totally help us. I have used many people and resources to help me with my issues.
Continuing on, I have been doing a lot of work on myself because I realized that I, for some reason, was not able to live a very good quality life. Even though I live in a beautiful area, I have access to clean water and food, I have a good presence in my community, and I have really great friends too. I realized that at the core of myself I was not happy, and I really wanted to investigate why. Because I'm somebody that naturally tries to always be very grateful for things, and I just love to give and to serve. It's like part of my nature. I just genuinely always try to be a kind and thankful person. So I was really trying to get to the bottom of why I was feeling unsatisfied, unhappy, lack, essentially. So I started going on this quest to learn. So I just started reading a bunch of things. I also saw some people that could help me, people that were older, people with more experience, with special skills in like health, nutrition, healing of different sorts, yoga, everything. And just to give you guys a little update, I feel so much better. Again, through a process. It's really been a process for the last few months because I went through some really big life changes, really big, I guess, tower moments. To like shout out to my tarot reading community. Tower moments, basically, for anybody that doesn't know, is when a big event happens to kind of break something down. And the tower is a picture of a tower being struck by lightning and everybody's falling off and it's like crumbling. Basically, it's life coming in and just cutting something off, scrapping it. So I had a lot of tower moments in my life just within this year. And it's not a bad thing, and I'm not complaining, because tower moments are actually really good because they allow us to create space to bring in something new and something better. We can get this clarity and really think about what we want to fill that space with. Yeah, so I had moved to San Diego. I ended up getting divorced from my ex-companion now. We got divorced, although, like, don't worry, everything's peaceful. We're actually cool with each other, but we're not together. I moved in with a roommate who was a very good learning experience. I'm just gonna say that. She was extremely challenging, but I had experienced a lot of growth and I became so much stronger, and I just pushed through and survived that situation and became so much stronger. That probably sounds a little dramatic, but like, I'm actually, not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of downplaying that situation. It was really hostile. It was a very toxic situation. So I did that, and that was a couple months, and I moved like 3 times by myself. I was just carrying these things, and I had to move, and it was like, there was stress on my body, stress on my mind. I ended up moving into an Airbnb for a while, and that was actually a nice break, a nice release. And I was still going through stuff internally, because again, I was really trying to get to the root of things. Every time I would get through something, it was good, and then there'd be something else that I'm like, oh, I gotta take care of that. Basically, I ended up doing a lot of soul searching deep within. I have been doing yoga every day for 3 years, which has helped me immensely in my health in all ways. Started to meditate a lot more often. I've been eating really clean. I am a vegan, but I try to make sure that I'm getting all of my nutrients. So that's my main goal, is like, I do eat vegan for basically all of the reasons to be a vegan: health, happiness, energy levels, moral reasons, karmic reasons, whatever. It's very important for me to get a balanced diet. I try to eat a balanced diet as much as possible. That's not to say that sometimes I still have like vegan junk food. Not often, but it's like a little snack here and there, you know what I mean? Because I got to enjoy life. But I realized I'm just gonna share this with you guys. Oh yeah, and I moved in my car because I didn't want to be paying so much money for just one room and live with strangers that were going to be toxic or affect my energy, because I'm going through a really intense healing process right now. And not only are other people's energies affecting me too, but my energy has been growing and it's been affecting other people. That's part of the reason why my old roommate and I had some turmoil, because my energy was growing and she had her own way of living, and it was really starting to clash, and it just was not a good situation. So I moved into my car because I needed a space that was my own. I needed to save some money. I needed some freedom. Essentially, I needed some freedom and find peace. This also allows me to visit my family more, which I actually did. I went on that road trip. And honestly, this has been a great learning experience because it's been teaching me to live more simply and minimally, and it's been helping my feelings. I feel much more abundant now than I did when I was living in a space and had more things. That makes sense. That's the thing, is I was doing a lot of yoga and I was doing a lot of like meditation and self-work, and I was also seeking help from others, and basically I was doing a lot of what people call soul work, which would explain a lot. I found that this very big fear that lied in the center of me, that was, thinking of it now, it was so blatantly obvious because it was just bleeding into everything in my life. I think there was a part of me that didn't want to see it. There was a part of me that was in denial. There was a part of me that didn't think it could be fixed, I guess, or worked through. So just gonna tell you guys, I had this very big fear. That, I can't believe I'm saying this. I had a fear that I was going to die of cancer. I had a fear that I was going to be killed by cancer, specifically breast cancer. And this fear came about because when I was about 15, my Nana died of breast cancer. She had breast cancer, and they didn't find it until it had spread pretty bad. And she spent the remainder of her days, she didn't do chemo, she spent the remainder of her time in her garden, eating, switching her diet, eating clean, trying to find natural remedies and solutions to heal herself. And, again, I was a young teenager at this time. I didn't ask all the questions that now I wish I did. It was just one of those things where she didn't really want to talk about it because she wanted to enjoy her life. So she didn't talk about it, let alone with her grandkids, but she also didn't really want anybody to worry about it. So I kind of got used to just ignoring that and just pretending like everything was normal. And it sucked. It sucked. When she passed, it's almost like the whole world got gray, like, because we have a really big family, and when she was like the sort of the pinnacle of that part of like that side of my family, and she was the one that created the whole family, and everybody always went to her house, it was wonderful. And when she died, it was like everything went gray and everything stopped, and it was like this, it was like a star exploded. It was just very hard. The house became empty because there was no reason to visit anymore, and the garden died and got overgrown with weeds, and my poor papa, he was just reading books every day, and it was very lifeless after that. I think as a teenager at that point, and I wasn't very conscious, I guess, yet. Like, it's hard for me to say now where I was back then. I definitely experienced, not just me, everybody, but me personally, my experience, I experienced a lot of sadness and trauma, obviously, depression, and I didn't properly know how to release that and let it go. So I held it in, not realizing anything about how emotional pains can manifest in the body when they are not released properly. Fast forward a little bit to, I am about 18 years old, 17, 18. I find this lump in one of my breasts. There's actually two of them. And I tell my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I gotta get checked out because there's something there and I don't know what it is. So I go in for a year and a half, it's like every 6 months I went in to get an ultrasound so they could check it out. And it turns out that they're just like benign tumors. And it's better to call them cysts instead of tumors too, so you don't put that word in your head, basically. So they're benign, so over that course when they were being observed, they had not grown, which is great. But I think I still also had this So it was really good that we figured that out. And so I thought it was okay. But then again, I realized, especially moving to San Diego, I'm a very naturally spiritually in tune person, just with nature and things of that sort. And I definitely felt like I was being guided and pushed to seek a more holistic, natural route. My diet was number one. That was the number one thing that changed a lot right before I moved here, but then while I moved here, I was changing my diet a lot. I did this slowly, so I did this over the course of like 6 to 8 months or so. I transitioned to being fully vegan. I read a lot of books, I saw a therapist, blah, blah, blah. And then I got divorced. And then I did a lot of yoga. During that time, I kept digging and digging and digging. And I was like, what is the source of this inner war? Because I realized what it was is I was feeling energetically, internally, I was feeling like there was this big tug of war happening inside, and I didn't understand why, and I didn't understand what was causing it. And I knew it was something to do with my heart and my head. There was just something to do with the connection there, or the lack of. I was really trying to seek balance in my life. I told myself, when I turned 22 years old, I told myself, this is my year of balance. So I'm going to try to seek a more balanced life, and that's going to make me feel better. And not going to lie, it was challenging at first. It was very challenging because I didn't realize how many different levels there was to living a balanced life, especially since I'm somebody that's very energetically sensitive as well. So I realized I finally dug to the core of this and realized like there was this war going on, and I was like, I don't want to die because of cancer. I don't want to die because of cancer. I just put my foot down, I was like, I don't know exactly what's going on internally, but I'm not going to stand for it. So I told myself internally, no more war, no more fighting. I'm here with myself. I have to live with myself for the rest of my life. So I said that I'm not gonna fight with myself, because the internal conflict I was feeling was creating a lot of stress. And I come to find out later in a book that I was reading about foods that heal, I was looking under foods that can help with breast cancer, because that was the main one I was worried about, because that's what my Nana died from. So I looked in there, and there was this one page where it had these symptoms where if they talk about if you are T3 and T4 deficient, so if you don't have enough T3 or T4, you are going to experience these symptoms. And I had all of those symptoms. And then it said if you have too much T3 or T4, you're going to experience these symptoms. I had also experienced all of those symptoms. So I was like, okay, my T3 and T4 is completely out of whack. I was like, what can I change about my diet to really help me feel more balanced? Because I basically was so terrified of dying of cancer that I wanted to just rid my body of all the free radicals. And it's kind of impossible to rid yourself 100% of free radicals, since constantly surrounded, at least in our modern society, by radiation, by heavy metals in like the fumes from like the cars, even certain foods that we eat, like especially fried foods and coffee even. There's just so many ways you can get different kinds of free radical cells, and your body is actually totally strong and capable and is built to be able to fight off a lot of those on its own naturally, or a lot of them aren't going to really manifest and create a larger problem. But for me, I was so nervous, and I also realized that I was having trouble breathing. Even though I'm doing yoga a lot, I was having a real hard time breathing, and I come to find out from someone who is a health and nutrition specialist. They said that they did a study where patients who had any kind of cancer, they did a study and found that 80% of them also contracted lung cancer. And that didn't make any sense, because there were cancer cells, cancer tumors in these patients in all different areas. There was no link as to why they also were getting lung cancer, and it's because of stress, and it's because they were told that they were going to die of cancer. And when a human being is afraid and they think they're going to die, their first thought is that they can't breathe, because the breath is the life force. And so I realized I was probably, because of the immense amount of stress and fear I was under, I was probably growing, or like I was probably manifesting lung cancer, which I'm not. So I realized that I was probably going to give myself an illness because of the level of stress and the deficiency in my T3 and T4. So yes, once I kind of got to the root of that, and I was like, yes, that is my biggest issue with like living my life, because I felt like I was constantly running from something and I didn't know what I was running from. Anybody who knows that you can't run from your problems, especially something like fear, like what I just explained. So once I got to the root of that, I went to a healer, and a homeopathic healer, and she helped me release that fear that I think is technically called an idea allergy. So it's like an idea that sticks in your head that causes you stress, causes you turmoil, and can manifest negatively in your body as well. So we released that fear, we released other things as well. And after that, I felt a lot better. I felt tired, but I felt a lot better. I started just eating as much seaweed salad as I could get my hands on. I've been drinking green tea. I have stopped drinking coffee while I'm healing, because I think there was a study that came out recently that says coffee can increase your chances of cancer. And whenever I drink coffee, I definitely feel more stress build up. So I think that's probably what they mean. Again, that's mostly emotional issues. There's people that drink coffee like every day and they live to be like 100. So it's, it's no shade to coffee. I love coffee, but I have been switching to green tea, herbal teas, and lots of seaweed salad, things that are really gonna like help clean my body out. And I've been trying to get a lot of fresh air. I've been trying to like really just breathe deeply, slowly. I have used essential oils to help me with stress, like lavender. I have this one blend that I really love that I just got called Chill Pill, and it's a blend of a bunch of different ones, and it's awesome. Sunlight, I've been going to the ocean a lot. And it's so funny because these sound like really simple solutions, like these sound like really simple things, and they were right there all along. It was just, I didn't know that that's what I really needed in order to, get through this. It's so funny. So yeah, I just really started to like plunge in the ocean, literally. Yeah, and I'm really thankful and I'm really grateful. That was such a long story. That's just what I wanted to share. Again, this is my personal experience, and this has been my personal journey for seeking health and happiness. I am not by any means claiming to be a specialist, a professional, a doctor, anything of that sort. I'm just simply a woman who is trying to live a healthy, happy life. Like I said, I did go and seek the help of professionals when needed. Seek the knowledge in books, use the internet, obviously check your sources. So yeah, all of that is a disclaimer. I'm not by any means saying I cured cancer or anything, but there are definitely some things that I was really seeking as a preventative measure. Yeah, so I love my life and I'm so happy, and I feel so free, and I breathe easy now. I do. I breathe easy, and I'm just so thankful because I have so much that I want to share with the world, and so much that I want to share with my friends, my family, so many things I want to do for my businesses, and I really needed to be in tip-top shape in every way, like mentally, emotionally, physically. It's been a really challenging healing process because this has been going on for a few months. However, it's all been so worth it. Putting in that hard work and putting in that pain and that struggle that needed to happen when releasing things, I feel so happy because that's stuff I didn't want to bring with me into my future. And I also am so grateful for all of the information I've learned, and that's why I'm so grateful that 22 is my year of balance, because this has truly been a year of balance, and we're like halfway through the year. Like, this has only been halfway through the year, and I'm excited because I don't want anything to get in my way of being a really good companion, a really good mentor, parent, like business owner. I don't want anything to get in the way of me helping people, having like those really genuine relationships and things that I believe are truly the most meaningful things in our lives. It's the service that we bring to others, and it's the relationships that we have that we carry with us and that we remember the most. It's not the stuff. I'm really, really thankful that's over. Alright, so I have been speaking for a long time now. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I want to thank you so much for hearing my story and my experience. And if any of this info was helpful or useful to you, or gave you any sort of direction for where you can go if you're looking for certain information as well, that's awesome. Like I said, I'm just sharing my experience, hopefully trying to point people in directions for where they can go, because again, I didn't even know where to start. But yeah, there's just a multitude, an infinite, abundant multitude of resources and people to help you. So please, never feel like you're alone, or never feel like you're in lack. And I truly believe that our health should be number one. Our health is the most important thing. I read a quote the other day that I thought was wonderful, and it said, "A healthy man has 1,000 wishes. A sick man only has one." And when I read that, I thought of myself, and I was like, I don't want to be sick. I realized that was my one deepest desire, because I was like, I feel at peace with everything I have, my friends. I was like, everything is enough, but why isn't it enough? And I realized it's because I was sick, or I felt I was sick, and I didn't want to be sick. So please take care of your health first. It's priceless. Really do your research and go with your intuition, go with your gut. Yeah, that's my $20 on the subject. That's my 2 cents on the subject, $20 on the subject. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. You know that I love you so much, and I just want to share everything that I have for the world. I want to bring joy, I want to bring healing, I want to bring happiness, I want to bring everything. I just want to share inspiration and wonderful things with you guys. Yes, I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.